London time. Okay, so, oh, wait. London time. Okay, so, I've been going over, like, a basic overview of is the story worth reading. And London is kind of no, but also yes. So London starts off kind of interesting, then it fails to deliver on some of the interesting threads that it begins. And then the end of London is a pretty important part of the storyline. But also parts of the end of London are just disconnected threads that make no sense. It's really weird.
つまらん。
目を背けないで。
計略だ。
逃がすものか。
罠だ。犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利。
Like, I'd say in general for London, if you just read kind of a bit of the end, you get the main stuff that's important. Mostly because a lot of stuff that's set up early in it doesn't get any satisfying resolution if it gets all, which really sucks. Very much. Oh, hey. Hold on one sec. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something. Another mechanic, because we've been getting enough of them. If you go here to the shop. Oh hey, mana prisms, we don't have any yet. Exchange pure prism. As you can see, there are stocks of 100 of each of these materials. And some of these materials are necessary for leveling up skills, sending servants, that kind of stuff. So if you take your pure prisms, which you've been gaining from doing the main story, and grab yourself some cocaine, or good old Waver, you can get him his fix and ascend that boy to the next level, like so. Like Scarface, Waver, just smash your face right into it.
先は長いな。さて、あれを補佐する軍師になるまで、あとどのくらい必要なのか。
As for the items that are shown there, I think we will probably get a generous enough amount of them through London to get close to or actually send Waver. Generally, the pure prisms are better for materials that you may not be able to get for a while, but only if, obviously, you have servants to throw at them, or throw them at. But I could also just spend 14 right here, you know, 10 pages and 5 gears, why not? If I was doing this as a very serious speed run for this kind of stuff, I would immediately know exactly what I need. So, for these ascension. And then we just would do it instantly, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm literally doing this speed run like blind as can be. Look, it's the Waver you find on the casting couch. Actually, I'd love to get 90. I got Waver up to it. 3 skills. That's what really needed.
よ仕上がりは
Oh yeah, level that skill up to 4. Up the attack. Okay.
そろそろクエストに戻る
I'll agree, London does have good map music. Also, back to being cool waiver, please. Give me the man who has given given far too many hours to teaching ungrateful students at London. London's biggest issue is that it sets up threads that don't actually get resolved. And then at the very end of it, it just kind of mashes a bunch of different stuff together out of nowhere. Anyway, I don't want to spoil too much more of it. As you might be able to tell, I'm disappointed by London's. I thought it had potential, and it did not capitalize on the potential. Which is, of course, unfortunate. Honestly, I would prefer if a story had at least one good solid moment than have a bunch of, like, good setup, but poor payoff. Or no payoff. No payoffs, obviously. It's like one of my biggest problems with Stephen King's works is that he's really phenomenal at setting stuff up. And then the payoff of said stuff at the end is mixed at best, poor at worst, you know? I heard I've spent the entire novel building up this killer evil clown that's been stalking these kids for their entire lives, and now that they're finally in his lair, he's a spider. What? He's a spider. Why? He was scary as a clown. Why is he spider now? Oh, I read the JP story? Yeah. Maybe not every single event, but the anytime a main story drops, yes. Read it as best I can. It was good, chat. You know why? Sexy Auntie Skaha in a sweater. And Mama Da Vinci. And little sister Da Vinci. A whole family of Da Vincis.
よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。
罠だ。
逃がすものか。いい判断です。目を背けないで。逃がすものか。
罠だ。
モルゴース。よくいい判断です。
Is there any part of the JP story that NA players should be looking forward to? Yeah, there's some really good stuff coming up over time. I don't really want to spoil Lost Belt 7 at all. It's a little hit and miss depending on what you're looking for. I think it's super exciting and cool, but I can also see certain parts where people could be disappointed. Mostly if you were expecting South American lore and stuff, because it takes place in South America, get ready for a lot of Central American lore instead. So that's a bit of a disappointment for a lot of people that I've seen. But I do think that Lost Belt 7 is pretty exciting and fun. And very cool. I guess before that will be Trom, though, for main story stuff. Trom's alright. It's alright, I guess. It's pretty okay. For events that are coming up for the US, it won't be till next year, but the event where the first beast of the game, Sodom's Beast, is added as a playable character is very good. I was a very big fan of Lilim Harlot. For I guess closer events coming up, well, I mean, Trom's in like a month at most, so that'll be the next big interesting story stuff in like a month or two. I think it'll be around mid-May if I remember right. And like I said, Trom's pretty good. It's alright. It's fine. Then the summer event is pretty good. Pretty fun story-wise. And then I think the next event would be Halloween after that? After the summer event? With new extra tiny Elizabeth, super small Elizabeth. And then after that it should be Lost Belt 7. Jack, you must be stunned. You are not allowed to move. So yeah, I'd say the upcoming events aren't like boring or anything, so that's a good thing.
よく目を背けないでモルゴース
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利
At least not overwhelmingly. There's nothing like that's a snorefest that I can think of. Or if there is a snorefest coming up, I completely forgot about the event and don't remember it. I will say, when it comes to events, I choose to read them or not read them kind of based on the impression that I'm getting from other people, and if people are feeling excited and stuff, and it's getting some good word of mouth around, then I start reading them. As opposed to main story beats, which is just I'm reading them anyway.
よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。
罠だ。
モルゴース。
Bruh. Barely survived.
よく目を背けないで。モルゴース。
I mean, my biggest complaint with FGO as of late is just how slow everything feels.
目を背いい判断です。死になさい。分断する。
Like, they recently started this Road to Lost Belt 7 thing, and Lost Belt 7 isn't coming out till the end of the year in December.
さて、どこから潰し、いい判断です。それは絶えず見た。
So we're on the Road to Lost Belt 7 for literally like 7, 8 months.
終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分。
Actually, considering we started the Road to Lost Belt 7 a month ago, 9 months. And like I said, Lost Belt 7's good. I like it. I just don't think it's so good that it justifies a nearly year-long Road to Lost Belt 7 thing to go on.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか。よく言います。いい判断です。逃がすものか。
罠だ。
I do really wish that
逃がすものか。
during this time of lots and lots and lots of downtime, maybe the NA server could take that opportunity to catch up a little bit, you know? Close the gap by approximately 1 year? Just a thought.
あまり悩ませない。楽しくなるでしょう。
It ain't gonna happen. That's what I wish would happen. Because there's gonna be lots and lots and lots of dead time if they follow the JP schedule. Lots of it. But I'm pretty sure they're going to follow the JP schedule. The problem I'm going to have with this is... And I hate to bring this up. but it's in the back of my head, and I'm sure some other people thought it before, but when eventually end of service does come for this game, for the Japan server, are they going to let the English server catch up, despite being 2 years back? Or is it just going to close everything at once? Now, considering that they fought tooth and nail just to get the English server to exist in the first place, I think they'll fight tooth and nail to make sure that it stays up and gets to end proper and all that when eventually the time comes, because it'll happen eventually. Fate Go can't last forever, especially considering the fact that the game is put together by some shoestring and gum in certain areas. Just kind of a thought I've had before. And I'll hope for the best, and more than likely it'll be nothing to worry about, but considering I've seen it happen before on other live service games that are behind a different country, where it ends in the other country and then the same end of service is the same globally, you know, it's a slightly valid worry. Man, I hate to actually be bringing that up when I'm giving a guide on how to catch up on it. I mean, you could use this guide to catch up on JP too if you want, but I assume most people want to be able to read they're playing their story-based game. Nah, man, I play Fate Go for the high-quality gameplay. Look at this high-octane gameplay, baby. Yeah. I pressed red card. You happy if they took a month? I mean, really, it's not too much to ask, in my opinion, to close the gap a bit. The problem is they'd have to, because of holidays and such, they'd have to kind of close it by about a year. Otherwise, holiday date times and event times would then get all wonky. It's Christmas in July!
戦闘か。なるべくは避けたい行為だ。仕方あるまい。いい判断言いました。目を背けないで分断する。モルゴース。魔女ですので。いい判断目を背けないで逃がすものか。モルゴース。
簡単に終わらないよ
ではこうしよ
うにいい羽を背けないで逃がすものか
う。なんだ。
逃がすものか簡単に終わらないようにいい判断です
From a blue archive being half a year behind.
いいでしょう私の足元で
See.
勇気をこいなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット
These games being behind a bit makes sense.
やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて
Like at least maybe a couple weeks
反
behind,
乱
something
分
like
子は
that.
物足りませんね
Makes sense because then you got a little extra time for translation work and extra programming work that comes with implementing server and all that other stuff that goes on in the background. It's just weird to me personally that the gap doesn't get closed at all when they're like given plenty of opportunity to FGO.
弱き者醜手に入らない式はこうして受ける食べなさい簡単に終わらないようさてどこから潰したものかよく目によく言いました逃がすものかそれは絶えず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながら鳥は明日を見たんでしょうロードレスキャメロ何を喜んでいるのです私が出たのです勝利は約束されていたはずです
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that not a whole lot of the money gets put back into FGO, unless they're really paying the shit out of those artists and voice actors, which if they are, you know what? Good on them.
向上レベルアップですマスター
But something tells me they're probably not paying them a whole lot more than the going rate for artists and voice. You see, that's exactly what I think most people probably think Cursed Entropy, is that they would prefer holiday events to happen during holiday time. And that's fine. Makes sense. God damn it, just barely not enough damage. If I had an actual CE, that would...
いい目を背けないで死になさい手に入らないよく言いましたそれは絶えず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながら
But anyway, there's just not... It's just not too... I don't think it would be too disruptive to close that gap by a year during one of these slower years in the game. Probably get paid more than their American counterparts? Oh, almost certainly. Except for anyone that's a union worker. Yes, they probably closer to par there. for the voice actors and stuff. Voice actors get paid a pretty solid rate. It's the animators that get screwed over really hard in Japan. For like anime and stuff, they are living the rough life, that's for sure.
よろしい。さて、どこから潰したものか。目をよくらき湖を逃がすものか。
Oh, nice
召し
crit.
上げましょう。
Cool. I went for that 40% and we got it.
何を喜んでいるのです。私が
Like, I think a recent article
勝利は
said
約束され
that
ていたはずですよ。
animators working in Japan are making like minimum wage on average. Not all of them, obviously, but most of them. But that seems to be pretty rampant around the world. If you are working in a passion-fueled industry like game creation, art creation of some sort, more than likely you're going to have people trying desperately to take advantage of you and force you to not get paid what you're worth.
どこから潰したものでしょう。よく言いました。
Which is real unfortunate, especially when you see some of the like super high quality animations
私の足元で許しを
that exist out there, you know?
落ちよ。ロードレスキャメロット。楽しいわ楽しいわ。分断する。やっと血がたぎってきたのに。
Or like you see that the keyframe animators put a super ton of work into a bunch of stuff and they make this really good setup for an animation and then a lot of it gets cut, and so instead of having this very fluid good looking animation, you have this kind of like staggered and stiff animation because they're cutting keyframes from spot to save time and money. And the keyframe animators are like, this is the work I created, and you saw what they actually put out. I feel incredibly betrayed by the company. It's like, damn, man. The work you did was a lot better than what they put out. I've seen that for both Jujutsu Kaisen and Hero Academia anime. Where keyframe animators put some really fire-looking stuff out, and then if you compare it to the actual release is way worse. Speaking of which, goddamn, dude, what the hell is even going on in Hero Academia anymore? I mean, I'm gonna finish Hero Academia. It's gonna be like Naruto, where I'm like, what the fuck is even going on anymore? But I'm gonna finish it anyway. At the very least, the art is still really high quality. So there's that. I feel the same way towards Jujutsu Kaisen's writing as well. Which is unfortunate because I super liked both Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen in their early iterations and for a long time, and then Oh boy, these ending arcs are rough. Could definitely be better.
あまり悩ませないの楽しくなるでしょ目を背けないいい判断です逃がすものかやっと血がたぎってきたのに
Only know of
終わり
Jujutsu
だなんて
Kaisen. Oh, they are
い
very
つの世
prevalent.
も
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やるぞ、マスター。
よく言いました
仰せの通
目を背けないで逃がすものか
り。無駄だ。
内側から終わる
Look, I think it's been said to death, but anyone at all who had to suffer through the ending of Naruto knows that it should have ended when Might Guy kicked Madara Uchiha through a fucking mountain and blew half of his entire body away.
目を背けないで
But then they didn't because Naruto has to be the hero and blah blah.
最果てにありながら鳥は
Let's just pull out some random bullshit. This bitch came from the moon. She's the new big bad out of nowhere. And Naruto and Sasuke are the only people that can actually do anything because destiny or some shit.
いつの世も反乱分子はもの
Real unfortunate. Naruto was cool when it was about ninjas instead of wizards. It became way less cool when it was about wizards because it wasn't very good about being about wizards, but it was pretty good about being about ninjas. Because eventually they stopped doing ninja shit and are just like, all right, I'm now a wizard. I'm gonna summon him. I'm gonna cast
玉
meteor.
座の支度はできていますか
ではこうしよ
いい判断です
う。無駄だ。
モルゴース分断する
Naruto be more about deadbeat dads? Yeah, sure. After all, Naruto's really funny when everyone says, Sasuke, you're a terrible father. Because it's true and funny.
こうしてあげる食べなさい宝具を展開しましょう目を背けないでそういいでしょう私の足元で許しを乞いなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット魔女ですのアコーロ
Also, I know that my boss. Rude. Is Sasuke worse than Goku? Oh yes, by like a million, trillion, billion, zillion, quintillion, decatillion %. There's not enough illions in the world for how much worse Sasuke is than Goku. 手に入らない手に入らないさてどこから潰したもの簡単に終わらないようにいい目を背けないで展開しましょう
いでしょう。
Goku never turned into a literal terrorist that tried to murder
ロー
everyone
ドレスキャメロッ
for several years.
ト。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は物足り。
Well, here's the thing. Despite all the memes and stuff, Goku wasn't a terrible father to Gohan. He misunderstood Gohan, sure, and didn't get to know him on the level he should have, and instead made the assumption that Gohan was more like him than what Gohan really was. Hence the reason why he threw a Sensu bean to Cell, because in Goku's mind, oh, Gohan's way stronger than Cell. He's gonna mop the floor with him if he fights him while he's all exhausted, and that would be no fun for him. Gohan, bud, let me help you out and make sure you at least get some sport in before you absolutely shit stomp Cell into the dirt because you're that much stronger than him. Meanwhile, Gohan's standing there like... Dad, I don't actually like fighting. I don't actually really like fighting, and you didn't seem to ever understand that. And then when when it finally clicks for Goku, when Piccolo shouts at him, you see Goku actually has that moment of realization, and then it instantly goes, oh no, what have I done? We need to help him. So at the end of the day, Goku's not like actively mean towards his child or abusive or super neglectful. Goku is just very much a muscle brain idiot, and every person he's ever met in his entire life likes fighting. All of them. His best friend likes fighting. His other best friend likes fighting. His rival likes fighting. His wife likes fighting. His mentor likes fighting. His teacher likes fighting. His other best friend likes fighting. His best friend's wife likes fighting. His best friend's other wife likes fighting. Like, everyone in Goku's life likes martial arts and fighting. Everyone. Except maybe Bulma, but hell, she still shows up for literally every fight just to spectate at the very least, so she likes it to some level. And Gohan is like the very first person in Goku's immediate vicinity that's like, you know, I actually don't like fighting. And then Goku's like, that's possible? Oh shit. Oh no! Like, you can, like, it's animated well. You can, like, see the gears turning in his head. And then when he finally realizes it, that the look of horror and shock on his face when he realizes he just threw Gohan to the wolves, so to speak. So it's not that Goku was actively malicious. He's just stupid. The problem with Goku in Super is that he's so stupid that it almost loops into actively malicious. There are some things I like about Dragon Ball Super and some things I don't. One of the biggest things I don't like is how stupid they make Goku. It's like he regressed. And if they wanted to make that into like a thing and have it some sort of commentary about injuries for professional fighters and injuries and stuff, then that would be one thing, but they're obviously not going to do that. It's Dragon Ball Z. There's no way that's going to happen. So instead, he's just extra stupid in order to play off of jokes that, at the end of the day, feel wrong and in bad form because of it.
弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。むしろ上がります。すべて見つめます。よく言いました。いい判断です。よく言いました。逃がすものか、逃がすものか。モルゴース。簡単に終わらないように暗きいい判断です。来たれ。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。
Also,
キャメ
I don't know how many people will agree or disagree with me, but
ロ、何を喜んでいるのです。
I really preferred
私が出た
Super
のです。
Saiyan 4 to
勝利は約束されていたはずですわ。
it was a much cooler transformation than my hair is blue or my hair is white now. And it kind of went back into the Monkey King origin roots for Goku and all that, which I thought was nice. I thought it was neat. Now, Dragon Ball GT has a million things that are bad about it, and there's a reason it gets retconned. A good lot of reasons. But Super Saiyan 4's transformation was not one of them, and it should have stayed.
玉座の支度はできています。
ではこうしよ
いい目を背けないで死になさい。モルゴース。分断する。
There were some uncomfortable things that happened in GT. Yeah, like his fucking haircut.
簡単に終わらざる。どこから潰したの？手に入らないの。手に入らないの。よくら目を背けないで逃がすものか。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロ。
最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
Look at this shit, chat. What did they do to poor Vegeta? His hair looks awful. The mustache. Well, it's certainly not helped by the hair. The mustache might work with his normal hair. Even then, probably not. The fuck is this design? It looks bad. It just looks bad. That was Vegeta's original GT design. Honestly, there's a Vegeta design I've seen before, an official one with him with a beard, and actually bearded Vegeta works pretty well. I think they should give Vegeta a beard. And then when he goes Super Saiyan, the beard also gets spiky. Wait, if you have facial hair and go Super Saiyan 3, does it also grow out super long? Like his dad's beard, yeah. Yeah, Vegeta, like King Vegeta's beard, similar to that, yeah. It works well. Oh, you don't remember Vegeta's amazing original GT look? With the mustache and the terrible haircut? That's because he eventually shaves the mustache, and then they change his hairstyle closer to his original, because everyone said, "What the fuck happened to Vegeta? Fix him. Fix him now. He looks stupid." But like I said, give him a beard. The beard works.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度は目を背けないました。死になさい。モルゴース。魔女ですので。
Stop. Stop.
目を背くいい判断です。逃がすものか。死になさい。
Damn, bro.
モルゴース。
Enemies are surviving hits.
いい目を背けないで逃がすものか。
I do recall GT Vegeta having red hair at some point. I think. Or maybe like some red tint to the hair.
あまり悩ませないように楽しくなる。よく言いました。手に入らない式を通してあげるの。さて、どこから潰したものか。目をそ。
Oh, do you mean in original Saiyan Saga?
召し上げましょう。
Yeah. The colors were all different for Vegeta and Nappa in original Saiyan Saga before they land on Earth. Like, completely different.
いつの世も反乱分子。
But that happens actually surprisingly often with, you could call it like season 0 of an anime. Basically, that stuff that lead up to the Saiyan Saga could be considered a season 0 before the actual season 1 of the Saiyan Saga. The Vegeta Nappa saga, I guess you could say. It's similar to the original anime of Yu-Gi-Oh!, where they base it entirely off the manga, and also change the... And also the colors are wildly different. Seto Kaiba and his green hair.
さて、どこから潰し。よく言いました。目を背けないで逃がすものか。内側から終わる。
Honestly, I would love a Yu-Gi-Oh! Adaptation that follows the manga where the Pharaoh is murdering the shit out of people and actually a horrifying monster.
目を背けよく言いました。死になさい。死になさい。 手に入らないのだ。よく言いました。
I believe it's like episode 2 or 3 of that season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! He literally lights a man on fire in a diner.
何人通るにあたわず。
And he burns to death.
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利。
Like, if Yugi was scared of that Pharaoh taking over because he might kill people, then it would be understandable. Unlike in the actual anime, when he's like, no, the Pharaoh might kill someone because he threatened Kaiba. It's like, dude, you should know the guy you almost got hooked up with if they followed the manga a little more closely.
戦闘か なるべくは避けたい行為だ。仕方あるまい。
手に入らない
では食う。ではこうしよう。
いい判断です。慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もなく何人も通るにあたわず。
Dragon Ball Z had the original One Piece syndrome between the anime and the manga. Oh yeah, you're talking about how because they were running at the same time, they couldn't get confirmation on design choices like color and stuff like that, and once in a while had to throw some filler arcs in. Yes. Also just straight up destroy the mind of people if they lost games early on. Oh yeah, true. He does mind crush Kaiba. The difference is in the anime that got kept, Kaiba doesn't get literally turned into a vegetable. Whereas in the manga, when Kaiba gets mind crushed, he's like drooling and having to be wheeled around in a wheelchair for a while. Basically lobotomized him for a period of time. And then there's the school bully that he put into an infinite, unending, illusionary hell where he imagines he's being assaulted by monsters. And then there's the other school bully he puts into another infinite illusory hell where he thinks a pile of leaves is actually a huge pile of money, so he's like super protective of his pile of leaves and stuff. Hey, 108 Plays, what's up? How you doing? We're speed fasting. And answering any fake Go questions if you have any. We're just shooting the shit for now. And like I said, another early episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, he literally lights a man on fire in a diner and he burns to death. There's no illusory tricks there. It's I lit him on fire. That cut in the 4Kids version? No, not at all. Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Never made it to the West. It is only Japan. Oh yeah, the Pharaoh was only coming out and doing that to people that were assaulting others in some way, shape, or form. You know, a bully comes and picks on Yugi, okay, eternal damnation for you. Or Kaiba comes and threatens Yugi's friends, okay, fine, I guess I'm gonna lobotomize you. Or a hostage situation taken at a diner, you're gonna burn to death. That being said, it's not any less horrific what he does to people. Also, the original gang in the manga had a fifth friend. There was a second female in the group, guys. And then she stopped existing when the anime became, like, the actual anime. It's fine, though. She needed to go. We needed more screen time for Tristan.
手に入らないのなら宝具を展開しましょう。慈悲だ、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖はない、希望もない、何人も通るにあたわず。やっと血がたぎってきたのに。
Or what was his Japanese name? I think it was
いつの世も
Honda.
反乱分子は物足りませんね。
Honda something. I don't remember what his first name was. Yeah, the Shadow Realm is straight up fanfic, but it's one of the few things, like, every once in a while 4Kids made something that worked super well, and the Shadow Realm worked super well. Because in just the Japanese version of the anime, it's just straight up, you lose this shadow game and you die. Meanwhile, the 4Kids version, you lose this shadow game and you get sent to a conceptual torture that never ends for your soul. It's like, that's kind of rad, actually. Well done, 4Kids. That being said, there is one particular duel they do where it doesn't make any sense. Where it makes zero sense. And that's the one where they're parodying Saul and he fights that, I guess, clown guy. And if these Saul blades touch you, they'll send you to the Shadow Realm. And it's like, dude, no, this is just a Saul trap, and the guy's gonna get his leg cut off and bleed out. That's how this works. I saw Saul. I know how this works. You can't trick me. I know this movie. Oh, one other big difference between the 4Kids version and the original Japanese for Yu-Gi-Oh! Seto Kaiba is a much more sarcastic asshole. Which is, honestly, I like him better in English. He's got a good voice in Japanese, good voice actor and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. But boy, is he way more entertaining when he's walking around talking about how he owns a corporation I own a corporation. Of course I've seen people crying before. That's my job. Also, it fits so much better because Seto Kaiba does the most unhinged bullshit in the show. Like, for example, did you know there's a movie in Yu-Gi-Oh! It came out a fair bit after the anime, where Seto Kaiba designs a device to go to the afterlife specifically to duel the Pharaoh. Seto Kaiba designed a device to cross over into the world of the dead just to duel the Pharaoh. The man who would constantly say, look, none of this Destiny stuff makes any sense. It's all bullshit and technology's the only thing that actually exists. Anyway, I'm gonna cross over into the world of the dead to have a duel now.
いつの世も反乱分子は
Oh yes, and then if we go into future Yu-Gi-Oh stuff beyond the first generation, we found out that Seto Kaiba funded a dueling school and put it on an island with an active volcano, a very small island with an active volcano, and also funded a space program to send trading cards in space, which apparently he's a genius for doing because it worked with contacting other life. And also did a bunch of other extremely weird, eccentric rich person things that make no sense and yet somehow come around and like somehow come around and not make no sense at the end. Somehow just work. Yeah, true. Japanese Kaiba, like, pretty much just ignored the magic stuff rather than outright saying it's fake. Just say, just ignore it and move on with his life. Wow, what a waste of time. Just watched a bunch of people who've been dead for thousands of years make sandcastles. Where the hell is my god card? I got no time for this shit. Fun fact, the English voice for Seto Kaiba is Brock from Pokemon, so if you take anything Brock says and then make Kaiba say it, it's infinitely funnier. And vice versa. Wait, what? You didn't know that? Oh yeah, it's clearly the same guy, but with a slightly using a slightly deeper, raspier voice for Kaiba. Mokuba, it's time for my donuts. Pulls out onigiri. I love jelly. Mokuba, get Nurse Joy online. Tell her I want her to show up here by 12, and I want her wearing her best Blue Eyes White Dragon outfit. Yeah, Little Karibo has a very is able to do a very similar Kaiba voice to the Kaiba. But really, his closest voice is obviously Teia's. It's like a spot-on one-to-one. Yuki, are you ready to talk about friendship? Spot on one-to-one. He also does a pretty solid Dan Green Pharaoh Yugi voice.
目に映るものいい判断です
Ah, it's me, Dan Green, and this is my sexy man voice.
最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えてしまうロードレスキャメロット
Tristan dueled only once ever, and that's it. Taya, on the other hand, went undefeated in her duels and won like 10 of them in a row before losing on screen. To the point where on screen she beat both Tristan and Joey. Taya was actually the strongest duel friend of Yugi's. She literally never lost a game on screen until a filler arc came out, and she only lost on that filler arc. She never lost a game on screen other than that filler arc. She's otherwise undefeated. Champion Taya, the strongest. Radrock, thank you for the follow. Also, she only lost because the guy literally froze her before she could play the card to win. Yep, exactly. Before Takahata 101 froze her, and then got to be a teenage girl in Japan. Yes, feel free to ask any questions. I will answer.
いいよく言いました逃がすものか死になさい分断する
Am I a fan of car? I'll be more specific about car. Am I gonna get a D's nuts joke?
どこから潰したものくら目を背けないで
Oh man, I feel like I'm getting set up here.
そういいでしょう私の足元で許しを乞いなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット何を喜んでいるのです私が出たのです勝利は約束されていたはずです
I can't. I don't know. I need to hear. What is car? Who was phone? By the way, chat, why the hell did they change literally everyone's name in the main cast of OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Except Yugi and Bakura?
むしろ上がります
Yugi and Bakura both have the exact same names in English and Japanese, and all the other friends have different names. Never mind.
いい判断よく言いました
Okay.
死になさい
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean by
消
car.
えなさい
Cause shut up. Wow, rude.
手に入らないの 目を背けないで全てを灰に
Oh, true. Kaiba has the same name. I guess I was thinking more of like the PAL group.
Yes. それは絶えず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えてしまう
That sounds too Japanese.
キャメロやっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて
That name sounds too Japanese. Let's call him something the kids will latch on to, like Ash Ketchum. Well, they don't really have cool names for the Western world. I guess Taya's kind of neat, but like Joey Wheeler and Tristan Taylor are not particularly amazing names. Like, if they're going to localize the names at all, Joey got the best deal out of it, because his is the closest to his actual name. Jonochi to Joey is pretty darn close.
ではこうしよ
手に入らないのならいい目を背けないで死になさい逃がす者か死になさい
Need they had to change Hondo's name because of copyright? Absolutely not. There's a 0% chance of that being the reason.
目をよく言いました分断する魔女ですので召し上げましょう
I mean, I know the reason why they changed the names. It's because they wanted to localize it and have it sound less foreign. But that's why I question why it was only like half of the main cast names instead of all of the main cast names. Where Yugi Muto gets to stay the same, Seto Kaiba stays the same, Okuro Ryo stays the same, Seto Mokuba stays the same, but then Anzu, fuck, what's it? I forget. Turns to Taya Gardner. Honda, whatever his given name is, turns to Tristan Taylor, and then Jonochi Katsuya, I think it was, turns into Joey Wheeler. And then there's also characters like My Valentine and such. Who's like they kept Mai. I think it was Kujaku in Japanese. See, if they did that, Nesbit, then Judai wouldn't have become Jaden when GX came out. Unless they just didn't care about GX because Yusei keeps the same name. Maybe they just didn't care about GX. What about Duke Devlin? I actually don't know what his Japanese name is. I'm gonna Google it. His name is Ryuji Otogi. which is like a pretty normal ass name overall for a Japanese name. So why did he get such a wildly different name there? Well, I mean, we obviously know why he got that name, because he was bringing sexy back.
最上に近い勝利だ。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I remember another character that got to keep their name. Maximilian Pegasus. But that's because he has a very Western name already. But that's the same name in both languages. And also, it's not hard to make Duke more memorable than what he was in the actual anime. He had one, like, basically filler arc where he's a semi-villain, and then like, he's just there. Can Rebecca keep her name? Oh yeah, probably. Also, you know, inherently Western name. So, both Rebecca and her grandfather probably got to keep the same name as well. And hell, Bandit Keith probably got to keep the same name too, but that's because he's American from America. You can tell he's American by his American flag do-rag. And his sunglasses. And the fact that he has a gun. Yeah, fun fact, when Bandit Keith loses his duel and then jumps over and threatens Pegasus, in the original, he's pointing a gun at Pegasus' head. That's how you know he's an American. On top of also having the, you know, sunglasses and the fucking do-rag. The American flag do-rag. What a design choice. His name is different in Japanese? I'm pretty sure it's Keith in the Japanese too. I'm pretty sure it's Keith. I'm gonna Google this. Let's see. There we go, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom Wiki. Bandit Keith, known as Keith Howard in the manga, so it's still Keith.
どく目を背けないで死になさい。モルゴース。
最上に
Wait a
近い
second.
勝利
Keith
戦
Howard?
う前に勝つくらいでなければね。
Oh my god. Is he supposed to be based kind of off of Geese Howard? Maybe it's just a coincidence that the names sound similar. That being said, if Bandit Keith jumped over to Pegasus and shouted Rapuken, that would have been the hypest shit ever. Rapuken! Loading. There we go.
戦闘か。なるべくは避けたい。うん。ではこうしよ
あまり悩ませないように目を背けないで死になさい。
う。なんだ。
モルゴース。
Bum.
ではこうしよ
目を背けないで。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。手に入らないのなら目をいい判断です。死になさい。死になさい。逃がすものか。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずです。
Yep. Exactly, Slow Bro. When the manga says they're death games, they mean they're death games. Oh, hey, we're almost at the end of London all of a sudden. Look at that. Out of nowhere.
う。一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。
あまり悩ませぬさどこから続くすべてにつなぐ。よろしい。いいくら目を背けないで逃がすものか。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロモルゴース。オークニーの雲の何を喜んでいるのです。
Bye bye, Barbados. It was fun seeing you again, buddy. Kill you again later. And again. And again. Barbados really likes to show up and get killed by us, doesn't he? Bye, Tesla. Bye, Tesla. Hey, chat.
戦闘か。なるべくは避けたい行為だ。仕方あるまい。
Question. Do you think we're ever gonna get more horror-style monsters in Monster Hunter?
目を背ける判断です。よく言いました。逃がす者。魔女ですの。モルゴース。
Because we got stuff like Kezu and Giganox, which are creepy, weird things. And then you got stuff like Valhazak, which is a big zombie dragon thingy. And then you got the weird Fatalis lore. Or Nakarkos that technically is puppeting the dead bodies of monsters. But I think we need more horror monster weirdos to hunt in Monster Hunter. Nothing scarier than the Beetlejuice theme. At least in Monster Hunter World, I'll agree with that. That's pretty horrifying. Oh, Lancer Alter is absolutely not relevant here. She's more relevant in one or two of the random events she shows up in than she is here. Literally, she shows up long enough for one. She shows up, has a fight, and then disappears. Gore Magala kind of fits. That's fair. Mostly because of the fact that Gore Magala's entire thing is about sending other monsters into a horrifying frenzy. Yeah, Gore Magala is just a fantastic antagonist for the entirety of that Monster Hunter game. But there are some monsters in the Monster Hunter series that are just kind of like almost at the level of Eldritch Horror in a way, and I really wish there were a few more. Oh no, I just really like when something that's not inherently horror themed suddenly gets this horrifying, like, eldritch monstrosity showing up in it. And it feels like it doesn't fit, but it still fits, you know what I mean? And Monster Hunter has a couple designs that I think fit really well for it. And I wish they could do a couple more. This has just been 8 hours of Yui Ishikawa in my ears. I could spend 8 hours doing something worse, I guess. Or hell, like, even Final Fantasy kind of sits in that territory when it comes to horrifying monster designs showing up. Like, Genova, for example. The Genova designs in Final Fantasy VII have always been these freak horror monsters. Which is also accompanied by the excellent Genova themes.
暗きよくいい判断です。
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam.
恐怖は希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。
Yeah, Anima is a great design from FF10. That's also this, like, horrifying monster that doesn't fit with the rest of the world in its design, where everything else is, like, much less demon-esque or alien. Man, I almost really want to listen to the Genova theme. In fact, I might. Do you guys want to listen to the Genova theme real quick? Because it's a banger. Or we can just keep talking about bullshit while I make Tesla disappear. Yes, yes, yeah. Alright, now you speak in my language, chat. Alright, let's do it. Listen to, like, the theme of dread that gets pulled up with it. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. What a banger theme, man. What an absolutely slapping theme. I'd say it's probably my favorite Final Fantasy VII song. Just a little above One Winged Angel, which I also like a lot, but Genova's theme is just so good. Like, I still remember when I first realized that Genova was gonna be a recurring boss. Because you fight the first Genova piece, like, somewhat early in the game. And then you get to that, you know, you're at that Costa del Sol, you're on the ship heading to Costa del Sol, you mean. And you're just doing your normal stuff, and then you're figuring out, okay, we're gonna have to fight some people, maybe it's like some soldiers or something, and then the Genova theme starts kicking in, and this horrible alien monstrosity starts rising up towards you, and you're like, oh shit, what's that? I still remember my first time encountering that when I was a little kid, and I was like, wow, what's that thing? That thing looks crazy.
さてどこから潰したもの
It would be several years later that I would watch John Carpenter's The Thing and have a new favorite horror movie.
神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もなく何人も通るにあたわず
Oh, by the way, if anyone likes John Carpenter's The Thing, let me highly suggest the anime Parasite. Or manga. You can read the manga if you'd rather read that. The anime adaptation's pretty darn good, so the anime is also fun.
そういいでしょう私の足元で許しを乞いなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット
But essentially, for anyone that's never seen or heard of Parasite, a bunch of basically John Carpenter The Thing aliens land across the world and start taking over people's bodies. But one teenage kid only had it like jump into his arm, and so he cut off the blood flow circulation by tying it super tight, and then the Thing only melded with his hand. So it's a story about him and the Thing then trying to coexist and stop the horrifying Thing parasites that are going around murdering and eating people. And the horrifying Thing parasites are pretty horrible, actually, in that one. They're very good at killing people and being threatening. But yeah, it's really, really good. Definitely check it out if you have the time. Highly, highly recommend. It's like a combination of mystery, thriller, horror, and then some shonen stuff. Because you gotta have some shonen stuff. And also, yeah, Cerberus, you're totally right about the Genova theme. It's very alien in its sounding, with the like the rhythmic heart-pounding beat in the background, the sense of dread and inhuman feel to the build-up in the background of it. And then there's the heroic part right in the middle. Because the heroes are fighting back against it. Against this alien horror, but still, even while that's happening in the background, you still got the dun 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 dun. It's a really well put together theme. That's why I like the Genova so much. It's just really. I haven't watched any John Carpenter movies. John Carpenter has some really good stuff. Highly recommend The Thing. The Thing is like my favorite horror movie of all time. I like it more than Alien. I like it more than Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Halloween, or any of those. The Thing is absolutely peak.
慈悲だ神戸を垂れよ恐怖は希望もない何人通るにあたわず
I can give you a very basic plot
消えなさい
synopsis without any spoilers here. It is essentially a bunch of workers that work at an Arctic base
さてどこから潰したもの
find a thing,
簡単に終わらないように
and the thing slowly but surely is trying to kill and or assimilate them.
どこから潰したものか指揮はこうしてあげる
So
食べなさい展開しましょう
lots of moments of people not trusting each other.
いいでしょう
Lots of moments in the movie where where you the viewer are wondering who is the thing.
やめろと
Is that guy the thing? That guy disappeared off camera for a bit and then showed up all of a sudden. Is he now a thing?
何を喜んでいるの
It does a super duper amazing job at breeding paranoia
勝
in
利は約束
everyone.
されていたはず
And it's got really good practical effects, like some incredibly good looking practical effects. Highly recommend The Thing. If you've never seen John Carpenter's The Thing, watch it. It is 100% worth your time. No matter who you are, even if you hate horror, even if you're scared like a bitch by horror, it is worth your time. Trust me. It's like easily one of my top 5 movies of all time, let alone my favorite horror movie. And John Carpenter has some other really good movies too.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。
さて
やるぞ。
どこから潰し
では
たもの
こうしよ
あまり悩ませないあまり悩ませないように楽しくなるでしょうほういい目を背けないで
Hate horror, well, second watching The Thing is worth it. Well, there you go. Perfect.
最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょうロードレスキャメロ
And other John Carpenter movies that are super worth watching. Halloween. John Carpenter created the Halloween series.
ブレー
A lot of John Carpenter stuff is horror, just a heads up. Christine, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King book where a car basically comes to life and is killing people, is also quite good. In the Mouth of Madness is a pretty good one. That being said, critics didn't like it too much. I think it was pretty good, personally. Big Trouble in Little China is a super fun John Carpenter movie. Like, this one, Big Trouble in Little China, not horror, just very fun, campy, wild bullshit. And London's done. Escape from New York, which is the, inspiration for the design of Solid Snake. Snake Plissken is really good. And then They Live is also really good, based on a short story, but essentially it's like a bunch of aliens are hiding around Earth. It's another very paranoia-based movie. It's quite good. So John Carpenter's got some really good movies out there. We did it, chat. London complete. Call me Snake. Come here. I'm gonna show you why they call me Solid Snake.
私の調べによると、ネモ船長は甘いものがとても好きなのだとか。
All right. Done with London. Well done, everyone. Clap.